we have Polari and VitorAL today. Polari definitely has been around for a while. He's pretty active in our Discord as well. He first joined in MT6, has been in 13 MTs if I read this correctly. Has gotten to a placement of 4th in MT13, that's really impressive. And on the other side, VitorAL, not quite as much of a veteran, but also a pretty good racer. We can see he got to 13th place in MT17 and has the exact same win rate as Polari, funnily enough. Both of them with a win rate of 56%. What round is this? This is a losers 3, or a back 3 as we call it. So we already played a few matches. Polari played Hectate in Ringshot, some kind of indie game where you aim rings, if I remember right. Played 19 Cursed Gem, which I don't really remember, and played Dragus in Samurai Kid. That's a game I remember. That's a 2D platformer that turns out to secretly be a kind of Sokoban game, because you always have to turn enemies into blocks and put them on switches. And VitorAL played against Fuller Lizards in Panic Restaurant, classic NES platformer, and El Cheeseboy in Bucky O'Hare, classic NES platformer. So looks like VitorAL has had a very one-sided MT so far. 2 NES action platformers. Got an interesting game picked for this race here already. I think we've seen this one already. Might be a flashback. Not gonna give away what it is right now, but we'll see it in a few minutes. And this is also a submission with a setup that's a bit more involved. So this might take a few minutes for the players to set up. Oh yeah, I guess in the meantime we could have a prediction while we're waiting. There we go. Get your points on your favorite competitor. Hello GFM, nice of you to join me. Ah, maybe my... Oh yeah, I guess I forgot to change my microphone in Discord, so he's not actually hearing me, I think. Just a moment. Hello GFM! Nice of you to join me.
Hello. I'm trying to update the dashboard, so I was quite looking into stuff. And you were saying earlier about how Vitor only played NES games in this tournament so far. This will be quite different from a NES game.
Yeah, this is pretty much on the other end of the spectrum.
Yeah. We should be ready soonish, but looks like players are having some controllers issues, or maybe not being sure that the controller is correctly configured. Because yeah, this is a system that we don't get to see that often, I would say.
You have game feeds, so I guess I could switch over already so we can see what we are up for. So we're going to play We Play. I think we're playing the tank game. I'm pretty sure we had that before.
I don't remember seeing it, but maybe I just didn't see in a past MT or something. But it was subbed. It is a fresh new sub and not a flashback. So this will be interesting.
Maybe I'm confusing it with there's a Steam game that's very much like the We Play tank game.
Maybe I wouldn't know. Like, I knew the name of We Play, but I've never played this, so I don't even know what it looks like.
I'm pretty sure I had We Play, but it's so long ago. I didn't remember that there's a cow game, for example. Feels like something I should remember.
Yeah, I mean, I can see why now, because there is a cow in there and a tank and stuff. But I don't think... I haven't read the pastebin yet, I should do that in a moment. I don't think any of that will be relevant, because they are doing only missions, whatever that is.
Yeah, missions isn't very clear. Is that just the name of the tank game? I don't know. We'll see.
I imagine when they move the pointer into the games, it will have the name. And from the pastebin, it looks like it's the tank game.
Yeah, the pastebin says gig on the Agent for tanks. Other than that, it doesn't really say what they're playing at all.
Oh right, I can't read. I only read to destroy all the enemy tanks. Okay, so it is the tank game. And I didn't even read when you should ready up.
I'm trying to remember all of these games, but I don't think I do. One of them up there that kind of looks like Arkanoid maybe. That's pool, that's table tennis. I don't know what the cow game would be. Probably something like milking a cow.
I mean, in Wii Sports Resort there was the freebie game with a dog, but I don't think cows can catch freebies, so maybe not that.
You just have to train them properly.
Okay, but yeah, and this will be a mouse game. Huh.
Yeah, We Play as a game collection was meant to demonstrate the Wiimote and nunchuck, I think. So it's a lot of pointing and maybe waggling as well. And of course, we can't expect our players to have Wiimotes ready, so they will configure the pointer to be controlled by the mouse instead.
I would say the hardest part would be to connect the Wiimote to the PC, because I believe it is a Bluetooth controller.
Yeah. So as long as you have Bluetooth on your PC, I think you can just do it in Dolphin. It's just... it has a button that says like scan for Wiimotes or something.
Oh, neat. I should try that out at some point. I wouldn't be able to run race games because my racing PC doesn't have Bluetooth, but my notebook, I could at least test that.
Well, if you want to use the pointer, then the next problem is you also need a sensor bar or something.
Oh, right.
For the Wiimote to know where the screen is.
Dang it. I mean, in all fairness, we shouldn't do that in a race unless both players had the same setup.
Yeah, that's a pretty high bar for both players to have Wiimotes that work on their PC. But yeah, this is an unusually involved setup, so they have to set up their controls and make sure that they work. Looks like they're still working on that.
But to be fair, I don't know if I would want to play essentially a mouse and mouse game with a controller and mouse. If it were only controller, yes, but controller and mouse feels awkward.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I'm guessing you control the tank with the nunchuck stick, and you aim with the pointer. So it's kind of like a twin stick shooter.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I have to say, one of the best races, one of the races that was most memorable for me was the Art of Balance. That was another Wii game. So this could be promising. Because Wii isn't a console that we usually see here.
Yeah. There might be a bunch of interesting stuff. When's the Wii music race? I've never played Wii music, I'm not sure what that actually involves.
I don't think there is a quote-unquote game mode. I feel like you just play around with it, like your Armistice card or anything. I think I never played it.
I'm looking into what games are in Wii Play. And we've got a shooting range like Duck Hunt. There's Find Me, which sounds like Where's Wally? Kinda, they give you... So there's a bunch of Me's around and they tell you what to look for, and then you have to find the right Me. Table tennis. Pointing at the sensor bar. Okay, so it's table tennis controlled by pointing at the screen. Pose Me. Okay, that twisting the Wiimote to rotate the character to fit them into silhouettes. And there's laser hockey, which is kind of like Pong apparently. Billiards or pool. Uses the Wii remote like a cue stick. Okay, so you kind of push it at the ball, I guess? That would be weird. I don't remember any of this. I definitely had Wii Play. There's fishing, charge. Ah, that's the cow game. The player controls their Mii character riding a cow as they attempt to negotiate a short course, while knocking down scarecrows and avoiding hurdles. So this is kind of like, yeah, riding the cow and steering it. The game is played by holding the Wii remote horizontally and using it like a steering wheel. And then there's tanks, is what we are going to see, I think. And it's the only minigame that uses the nunchuck, which might be the cause of our setup problems here, because the racers have been asking for another game to test their nunchuck setup on, but apparently this is the only game that uses the nunchuck.
Yeah, but at least, and they should be able to configure that, because it mentions that in the pastebin, but they should be able to use WASD and mouse. So let's hope for that. I mean, Half Beast, this is still far from the worst setup that I ever had. That was a reject tournament, I believe, a Commodore 64 game, Mounty on the Run. We took like 1 hour to 2 hours trying to make the game run. It was beautiful, because then one of the racers forfeited in like 10 minutes because they couldn't jump. and, we, and we stayed there for the whole hour while Shambles, I believe, continued trying to play the game. It was amazing. I think it was against either Cyto Hydra or Studva. I don't remember who the other player was, but it was really good. And then they joined us after they forfeited, and it was me, Phantom Matt, and the other racer. We kept commentating.
We don't really see a lot of home computer stuff, so we don't have any ready setups, I guess, for Commodore.
Yeah, and even like the placement did explain things nicely, but the players couldn't configure stuff. So yeah, it's those weirder systems can be finicky at times.
I think today I would just point people at the Cruiser Grande setup because they are set up for all of these home computer platforms.
Oh, nice! I may look at that at some point. Because I'm running on Linux, so I'm always scared of getting something that's not conventional.
Yeah, well, I guess most of the emulators they use should have builds for Linux, like UAE and stuff, probably available. I will see some screenshots of the different games. Also, I noticed apparently the Mii we're using is a custom Mii. Just a bit of a bland Mii. It's the MT0017 Mii. So it can't be a fresh submission. It has to be a resubmission from last year, I suppose.
Maybe it was submitted last year but didn't get played. Huh. Because yeah, I saw the MT0017, but I didn't even notice that we are in MT18 now. Oh, looks like
one player read it up. Second player read it up. Here we are. Good to go. Had a little typo there in honesty. I typed not quiet instead of not quit. Oh yeah, we're good to go. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Oh, should probably push the music. Should have audio, but I see it moving just the tiniest bit here. I guess VitorAL had extremely quiet audio on his stream, and kinda hard to change that.
Check that in a moment.
Okay, yeah, but we're playing the We Play Tank game, which is okay, so when I looked at the Wikipedia description of this We Play game, they described it like the Atari something game Combat, which I'm not really familiar with. But yeah, it's basically a twin stick shooter, I'd say. You've got a tank, you fight these tanks, you control it. Did Polari do the lives thing right? Polari's down to 1. Oh yeah, it says infinite lives in our goal, so I guess... I'm not sure. Where do we see the lives?
I'm trying to read that in the paste bin.
And let's see if I can boost VitorAL's audio some more, but it's really...
Yeah, I boosted it all the way up, but it's really low, even going to the stream.
I can turn it up in OBS, but I'm kind of worried that if anything loud happens, it's gonna completely blow out our ears. But here we go.
Oh, I see. This game has this submission has a custom dolphin, and this custom dolphin should have the infinite lives cheat enabled. That's what I got from the paste bin.
we want to beat mission 50. These missions are going by pretty quickly. Polari's on mission 7, VitorAL mission 6, close behind.
Yeah, and as you were mentioning, this does remind, or as you read on Wikipedia, this does remind the Atari tank game, but it's also quite different because in the Atari game you had to shoot where you were looking at, I believe, and here you have freedom of movement, I think.
Yeah, well, I guess on an Atari you don't really have complicated enough controls to aim in a different direction. But yeah, here this is specifically to show off the Wiimote controls, so you aim with the pointer. I noticed the shots are very slow, at least the player's shots are pretty slow, so you have to plan ahead.
But it also ricochets out of the walls.
Which also probably requires some planning. They don't seem to bounce off a lot, like maybe 1 or 2 walls before they break. Yeah, looks like it's just bouncing off one wall and at the second one it will break, so you can't just spam them everywhere, you still have to aim.
Okay, and we are getting, I'm not sure how, but destroyable blocks. Because you can see in Polari that some of the blocks are missing on the left side of the screen. And on the, yeah, like the explosion there just destroyed a bunch of blocks. So it could be good to get faster to enemies, but also bad because then you have less cover.
Yeah, so that adds some strategizing to the game. Where are the explosions coming from? Ah, okay, so there's some kind of mines on the field. Wondering what blows up the walls.
Yeah, you can put a mine pressing A on the Wiimote, and you can fire with B. And then it seems to explode on contact with a bullet. So you can use your own mines to destroy the walls, or just place the mine and try to make an enemy run into it, I guess.
VitorAL getting destroyed there, I think, taking a death, but it keeps your stage progress apparently. There's just one tank left there. And since we have infinite lives, that be like a strategic element to more readily take a death. You can kind of risk dying since we have infinite lives and it keeps the stage progress.
Yeah, but Myth has a good point. Looking Polari's screen, a tank is going behind the wall and it comes hidden behind the wall. So you have to pay attention to where enemies are moving to not be hit by anything that you weren't expecting.
Yeah, on VitorAL's screen here we get some pretty high walls, so there's a bunch of tanks behind these walls. They do leave tracks. I'm not sure that it's really super helpful, but you can kind of recognize, oh, there was something there. It's not.
At this point, with that much tracks on the stage, I don't think it's helpful at all. But yeah, for sure, at the start of the stage, it should be helpful.
And we've got different tank types as well. There are different enemy types. I'm noticing the yellow one puts down mines.
I would expect also enemies to have different AI, maybe. So one enemy is more aggressive than the other. And I just noticed that in Polari's screen that your bullets collide with each other. So if you fire 2 bullets, one ricochet into the wall, and you aim the other a bit to the side, you can hit your own bullet and destroy your 2 bullets.
You can also destroy the enemy bullets. I thought would be more helpful. At least the similar shots, the same shots that you have. Looks like you can also destroy the rockets. Oh, the rockets also ricochet. And they're a lot faster.
Yeah. So far, I don't think I've seen enough of the players trying to corner the enemies or do anything fancy. They're just trying to shoot. It seems, okay, the enemy's here, let me try to shoot their general position.
On VitorAL's screen, we saw that that one enemy kind of tried to dodge the bullets and was pushed into a corner by doing that.
Hmm.
But I think if there's more than one enemy on screen, then you'll be too busy to really strategize a lot.
Yeah, probably. Like, this is deceptively simple. Because it looks simple, you can see the entire screen all the time, but there are a lot of moving parts always.
Yeah, and some of the shots move pretty fast and they can ricochet, so there's definitely a lot of stuff to keep track of.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be counting on, okay, that's a missile, it ricochets 3 times, so I know that's the third bounce, I should be safe. You don't want to be thinking that in a race. If you can, kudos to you, but that's rough.
Polari now on mission 14, 2 missions ahead. The missions are pretty short, but we are playing a lot of them. I wonder if the enemies can hit each other, since we're seeing these rockets flying around.
I believe they can, and I think we saw that on Polarity's screen. I think that enemy with the missile, 3 stages behind, destroyed itself with the explosion.
Maybe with the mines you could use that, like when an enemy drops a mine and you fire on it right away.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, the mines look really good because of their range. Like, aiming at the enemy tank is really hard. Oh, in Polari, I don't like this narrow corridor that he's
There are
going
missiles
into.
coming out, bouncing out of the corridor. He manages to catch some of them.
Like, that looks great to try to hit the enemy, but scary to go into.
I guess he could be trying from the other side. There are some openings, but that's a long way around. And also,
Yeah.
maybe the angle wouldn't really work well for hitting them, and Polari clears them out.
Oh, and that was a nice catch up by Vitor. Now he is 1 stage behind. Given, I think this stage did give some trouble to Polari right now, so let's see. And Vitor is doing what you mentioned about shooting through the walls.
Yeah, through the gaps, but there's not a lot of space to shoot through there. You can't really cover a lot of angles. VitorAL trying to blast through the wall, I think. Okay, destroying that one, but I wonder if the explosion can destroy you on the other side of the wall. Like, visually it looks like it's going through.
I would guess it doesn't pass through the wall, the explosion.
Yeah,
It was a pretty good attempt though.
it looked like VitorAL was trying, but didn't manage to destroy the enemy on the other side with the explosion, but maybe it was just too far away.
Polari right now just had a really good ricochet shot, hitting a tank, and the second shot was closing in the enemy, but then the enemy moved. But it was almost really good.
Yeah, Polari really aiming with the ricochet shots here, doesn't wanna risk a straight line.
At the same time, I feel like destroying the walls to have more openings to attack would be good, though you also are removing your cover.
Polari is closing in now, trying to just rush down the enemy. Still missing the enemy with a lot of bullets. It keeps hiding behind the corner there.
That and the bullets are colliding. So, because that enemy is firing a lot of bullets.
Yeah, I wonder if that's like a special enemy, some kind of elite. It is attacking a lot more.
And now they are on the same mission. given Polari is at the last tank, but let's see, because Vitor has been using some different strategies.
Now we can see it starts out with 5 enemies. Polari's still trying to take down the last one. Some close shots there. And gets
And
that
immediately, Vitor goes for the walls. Did it have different tanks? I can't remember how the state was in the start of Polari's mission. Because the tanks you destroyed continue destroyed after death.
Oh, okay,
as
so that's what
said.
Myth was missing. Yeah, so when you die, it keeps the stage progress. Our stage here, featuring enemies on all sides with rockets, so they can really fire at you from all sides at the same time.
Yeah, I was gonna say that this looks like a simpler stage, but at the same time, that narrow corridor into rockets doesn't look that good. And Polari cleared that.
And VitorAL also finishing the previous stage, I think, quite a bit faster than Polari. Still one stage behind, but might have caught up a bit. VitorAL so far only has cleared out one corner here. Oh, is going for the walls again, as you say.
Oh, but that opened a spot for the enemies to shoot him. So I'm trying to figure out, purple seems to try to follow you, but also run from you and shoots a lot. The blue one is slow, the one in the corner for Polari. The green ones is the one that don't move a lot but have the rockets.
Yellow ones put mines down. We saw them. VitorAL seems to be struggling a bit in this stage with the ricochet rockets. These rocket enemies are really good at planning these ricochet shots out.
Meanwhile, the slow and steady, Polari's slow and steady method is working really well. Worked really well for that stage in particular.
Chat is also discussing if we had that last year. I think we had it in the past, but we also had a Steam game that looks a lot like this. That is definitely inspired by the We Play Tanks game.
The thing is, I have also saw a race last year of the Atari or NES, I don't know, Tanks games, so I'm getting all games confused right now.
Oh, I don't think I remember that one.
That was in a different tournament. But like, I've seen a few Tanks games recently somehow.
Polari in a long straight corridor basically. Just winds around. And yeah, I see Polari using the mines very rarely, not just to blow up walls, but in general. There's an enemy mine up there.
But regardless of that, Polari just cleared the mission.
Oh, that's a big empty arena here for Polari. Oh, the enemies are invisible. That's funny, but they still have the tracks, so I mean, it makes it a bit more difficult.
That's interesting.
Stealth tanks. I think the stealth tanks are the light brown ones, kind of beige, I guess. There's one on the right side now for Polari.
I mean, I see, but I can't see the tank.
Yeah, with all the tracks, so that the tracks are really the only thing you have to see them, but there's so much of that already over there. Everything's full of tracks, so...
Yeah, then it gets really hard. I mean, at the same time, since progress continues through death, you could die right there, open a few walls, die, and then rush to destroy the invisible enemy.
Seems like Polari has charged quite a bit ahead. All these stages have gotten shorter because we're now 3 stages apart, if I saw that correctly.
I feel like Vitor got stuck in the rocket stage for a while.
Yeah.
He was stuck there for way longer than Polari was.
I was
Okay,
wondering
that was
if Polari's enemy tanks were hiding behind the walls, but no, they were just invisible.
but that was really nice of the enemy of coming out of the wall and then going down like, okay, I'm here, okay? And like, oh good, you are in my line of sight. The fact that every bullet destroy each other is great for surviving, but awful for trying to hit the enemies. And with the red and purple that like to shoot a lot, that becomes really hard.
VitorAL was locked down in the starting corner for quite a while, but now he's making his way out finally. Has almost all the tanks down.
And he has way more maneuverability because of destroying the walls. Less cover, but can move around better. Oh, walls don't stay through death. Okay.
Yeah, looks like walls reset and the tracks disappear. So for the invisible tanks, as you said, that would be good. If you die, then they're all gone and you can see the invisible tank again.
Yeah. Like, if there's only the invisible tank, that's perfect.
Vitor opening some paths again with mines. Goes straight through the stage pretty much instead of following the snake path. And here's our introduction to invisible tanks.
Nicely done. And that's the last tank for Polari. So we are 21 on Vitor and
26, I think, on Polari's side, yeah.
yeah, 5 stage lead. That was weird, the brown enemy on Polari's side didn't do anything and was just sitting there while Polari, okay, I'll just shoot you right here, okay? Okay.
Very agreeable enemy. I don't know, maybe that's their AI strategy, to sit around and aim at you. Although that works better with the rocket tanks, I guess.
I think that was the first time that I saw Polari destroying a wall. Okay, I think he hadn't realized that you can't destroy walls until now.
Or even if he has, maybe it's just not a strategy he focused on, but now he's definitely doing it several times. There's not that much potential for destroying walls in this stage for Polari.
Yeah, sure. I just found it really interesting that he went directly to that wall and tried to shoot up into the tanks that were right there.
Ah. Vitor here, on the other hand, could just break the whole middle part of the stage, which might not even be a positive thing. Like, that might just get you more bullets sent your way.
Yeah, like at the start of the stage, I wouldn't do that, but later on with fewer tanks, for sure.
It's a nice ricochet shot on that one. Oh, here we see the red tanks. Yeah, they really spam the bullets. You can hardly hit them head on. They cancel that out most of the time.
Now I'm confused because that was the purple, I thought. But yeah, the red is really aggressive as well.
I'm not sure the purple even shot that much. Maybe the purples are more like pushing towards you, and these shoot more.
I can see
and
that.
VitorAL quickly deals with the last two ones. Still 5 stages ahead. That's a pretty big difference.
The thing is figuring out how enemies move, because Myth mentioned that Polari's bounce shots are working really well. So you have to shoot in a way and move the enemy so that it will get into your projectile's direction where it's moving.
There's an invisible enemy on Polari's corner, and he gets it. We saw another one of these brown tanks on Polari's screen again. Apparently, yeah, they just don't move much. They just sit there and aim at you. What do these walls, these holes do? We've seen them before. Can you not drive across those?
Maybe because we haven't seen players interact with that. But maybe they can't interact with that.
Yeah, the enemy tanks also don't drive across them. Like, I guess it's just something you can shoot across but not drive across. Some invisible tanks sneaking up on Polari. That one got him pretty close range even.
Another thing, I was under the impression that this game worked under Mega Man's rules that you can only have 3 lemons on the screen at once, but I feel like you can shoot 3 times quickly and then you have to wait a bit to shoot more.
Yeah, I think I saw players spamming bullets sometimes, getting some quick shots. Polari spammed some bullets to get the last invisible tank there, and
Yeah.
now mission 31, so still 5 stages between both of these players.
Hey, we saw that stage moments ago. This layout, I mean.
Oh yeah, apparently they're recycling stage layouts.
And to be fair, as long as you change the things that are on screen, it will be a completely different challenge. Oh, Polari knows that there is an invisible enemy right there. Okay, took it out. And only the minus one left. Oh, mines also explode after a while? Yeah. You can see that one on the left screen. Exploded by itself.
Omega Number in chat was in the race for a bit and said they had lag when there were enough bullets on screen, so they thought there was bullet time in the game. Polari does have an FPS counter on screen, so we might be able to see when it really slows down.
That's also one of those things, because the Wii isn't a powerful console, but I wouldn't expect that Nintendo games would run badly on it. So it wouldn't be weird to have lag in a Wii game, but also I wouldn't expect it.
It's also like a very simple game. It's not exactly, even for Wii standards, it's not Super Mario Galaxy.
Yeah, fair.
VitorAL in a face-off with the last red tank there and defeats it. Keep our 5-stage gap, 33 to 28.
Oh, that was a quick clear for Polari.
Polari is facing several rocket tanks here. They can cover
Oh,
the
and
gap
a
pretty
invisible
quickly.
tank Polari spotted the invisible tank at the right moment because they were getting really close.
Yeah, at least there weren't really any other tracks there to cover that, so you can see them pretty clearly still. VitorAL chasing the last two tanks around. These rocket tanks seem to really want to keep their distance. They stay really far away from Vitor there.
Oh, this is an interesting stage. You can't go into the middle section.
Oh yeah.
One thing that you could try like in Vitor's stage that would be really slow is to like place a mine and go around the enemies to make them run into the mine.
Yeah, but we saw that the mines blow up after a while, so I'm not sure they will keep for that long.
It's like 20-30 seconds maybe, so maybe it could work, but it would be slow.
Polari trying to take down the last tank there with ricochet shots. That's again one of the tanks that you can't really shoot straight ahead, I guess. They shoot a lot themselves, we just saw that.
This was almost a good shot until the enemy took the bullet out. Oh, and there we go.
Oh, that duel took quite a long time.
Oh, you can take out the cover in Vitor's stage. Not that you would want to do that, but you can. And now good luck finding the invisible tank in that mess.
Yeah, I think he sees it, but yeah, only when it drives out of the big mass of tracks there.
Okay, 2 tanks left for Polari. A brown one that should be easy, and a green one that can always be tricky.
But that could be a good time to take out the walls, so you have more
Oh,
ways to
Vitor destroyed
approach.
an enemy through the wall. Sorry to for interrupting you. But Vitor placed a mine on the corner while the enemy tank was moving into the wall.
Ah,
And
nice.
the mine explosion took the enemy out.
Polari with a very close range duel there, finishing the stage. I think he almost took a bullet, but then he caught the enemy.
We saw a mirrored version of this stage, or was it the same?
Oh, the snaking path was the same layout, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay.
Although I'm not sure that the breakable gaps were as big. Not sure you could drive through like this.
I think you could, because I remember Vitor destroying the paths and going through the breakable paths.
Yeah, going through the middle, I think, yeah. Polari just needs to catch this. Oh! Did the yellow tank shoot him, or was that a self-inflicted death there?
I think it was a self-inflicted death.
Because the yellow tanks, I'm not sure they shoot at all.
And maybe they should, but like once in a while.
Polari still has an invisible enemy. Ah, there it is. I was wondering, why doesn't the stage end? And we still keep our 5-stage lead for Polari here. Just 11, 12, I guess, missions left if they have to beat 50 as well.
Yeah, they have. It's clear mission 50. So Oh yeah, this is looking rough. At least the gap isn't increasing, but a comeback is looking more and more difficult.
Polari finishing the stage again, already on mission 40. I think this might be a new layout, at least we haven't seen this one a lot.
Yeah, I don't remember this one.
The mine tanks over there are pretty funny, like they don't seem like much of a threat. At least not by themselves.
Yeah, like they are a threat when you are trying to pursue them, because they will leave mines in their path, so you have to be careful with that. And like, there are mines behind those walls.
Oh yeah, invisible mines.
Okay, that was interesting. The tank didn't even try to ricochet the rocket.
And Vitor chasing the last tank here down. One of the aggressive ones again. Always hard to deal with those, I think.
Yeah. Nice one, gets a ricochet while the tank was trying to shoot them. Oh, this is another new stage, I believe, for Polari. New layout.
Yeah, I think so. Just one left, unless there's invisible tanks. Of them finishing their stages, still 5 stages between them. A lot of high walls on Polari stage here. Most of the time you don't see all of these tanks.
And there are also, oh, only 2 tanks now. But like a lot of, at the start there were a lot of tanks and a lot of open space. So it was really rough because you had bullets coming everywhere.
Just the rocket tank left, that should be easy enough to take down, there we go. I wonder how many missions this game has. 50, 100?
I would guess 100?
Because I'm wondering what the later stages look like. Do they really just spam you with tanks? Are we already seeing that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Polari doesn't exactly have a ton of enemies here, but a very varied set. Take most of them out quickly, just the rocket tank left. VitorAL in the meantime in a duel with one of these blue tanks. I don't think we see them very often.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
the
he's the
same
blue
that
tank,
Polari.
right? I'm
No, yeah,
seeing it the
there
same,
is
the wrong way around. He's the blue
there is a
tank.
green tank that don't move and shoots rocket, and there is this other tank that shoots rocket and moves.
Whirl with a nice mine through the wall again. And we see the high wall stage layout on Polari's side again. That makes it pretty hard to judge where the enemies are.
Yeah, and Polari says, nope, I don't want those walls. Oh, and clears the stage.
I think yeah, that's a lot of rocket tanks here for Polari. That's gonna be a little bit of a bullet hell then. Put most of the rocket tanks out already though.
The good thing is that those tanks don't move, it seems. So as long as you have your cursor on the tank, you can spam shooting and you will destroy the rockets and the tank.
Yeah, they can't really defend themselves.
Yeah.
VitorAL has an invisible tank left. Oh, there it is on the left side. Polari in a tight corridor here, trying to get through. One of the walls blew out. That should make it easier, but too late to make use of.
Yeah, but at least now Polari knows that he could go around that point.
Polari's just
Does it
charging
look like?
through this time.
I don't like this corridor, but it's working, so alright.
Oh. Vitor facing one last rocket tank. Trying to take it out through the wall with an explosive, but that didn't work out. Very dangerous to face the rocket tank through the narrow corridor.
I was gonna say I hate that those stages all look the same, and then both Vitor and Polari were in the same layout. I was like, what's happening? Okay, but last 3 stages for Polari.
Doesn't seem like the game is really increasing the difficulty that much. Polari's 3 tanks left, an invisible one, a mine layer one, and one of the red aggressive ones.
Yeah, it's changing things up. Like, the invisible enemies is an annoyance at the start of this stage. But fair, I don't know if it's getting hard. It is getting more complicated, more convoluted, but not that much harder.
Looks like there's an invisible enemy in the middle here for Polari as well. I might have taken it down already. Just the rocket tank left,
Yeah.
and that's 49, just one mission left for Polari.
Oh, new tank.
Ah, one last mission where we get super fast rocket tanks.
Oh gosh, those move fast and shoot fast.
And we have a dot done from Polari with an SRL time of 40 minutes and 8 seconds. Congratulations. Vitor still has a few missions to go. Polari was quite a bit ahead there, played very well.
Yeah, and like now with this black tank, I can see things getting harder still. But hello, we are joined by Polari.
Hello.
How did you enjoy tanking?
Okay, I'm sorry. So I'm gonna close this game. Okay, there. Yeah, that was fun. I like it.
Nice.
I played a lot of similar games, but usually they are like PvP, not super raceable. But yeah, I'm happy to see something like this in Mystery Tournament.
So
I was gonna ask, because there are a lot of other of this type of games in other consoles like NES, Atari and stuff. But yeah, go on more.
So the control setup took quite a bit, but how were the controls? Did you have any issues with those?
No, like Dolphin configuration is a whole pain in the ass, but once that got sorted out, the game itself had no problem. It just worked. I'm sure it would have been harder on actual Wii mode, but it was like basically just playing like any mouse plus keyboard game on PC. Like the cursor was a little bit sluggish, and you could see that it was originally for a Wii mode, but not so much that it would have been an issue.
And for the other controls, did you use West? I saw that in chat a bit, because I expect that since it's usually an analog stick game, that might make a difference.
No, like that's what the whole DLI was about. Like we couldn't get the stick working in Dolphin before figuring out how exactly you're supposed to set up your controls to work on both pad and mouse, and we were talking about setting WSAD for everyone, but yeah, eventually we got it working, and I played on stick.
Nice. One thing, did you not notice that walls could be destroyed until really late into the game, or were you just not doing that until late into the game?
No, I didn't realize until, like, I don't think it was super late. I want to say it was like
Maybe not that late, yeah.
Somewhere in
like
there. But yeah, it took me a while to realize that that's what they were disappearing for, and that the different looking walls actually had some kind of a difference.
Because we were wondering, because you were playing more safely, more slowly and steadily, and Vitor was destroying the walls and trying to use that to hit enemies, so that's the reason.
Yeah, there were a few things that weren't obvious from the beginning, and I didn't really, like, spend the time properly testing, because there was a decent bit of delay after dying. Like, I still don't know what's the explosion radius and mines. I did at some point test that you couldn't kill people through the walls with them. That didn't work. And I'm still not like 100% sure about killing yourself with your own bounces. I think I did it at one point, and then I started watching out for it, but like little details like that. But yeah, I didn't really have a strong read on the enemy AI. I didn't feel like I could do much with the mines. Because, like, obviously you need to place them somewhere where the enemy is about to move to do anything. And I tried them a few times in the beginning, and then they just didn't come. And I just didn't see much point. The main weapon was pretty effective anyway.
You mentioned the enemy AI. Did you figure out all the different types? They are clearly color coded and they do behave differently.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I noticed that different color enemies corresponded to doing specific things, and I had the rough idea, but then when it came out to some of the more finicky ones that moved a bit unpredictably, I didn't really have like a solid read on, like, hey, now that guy's there, so I'm doing this kind of thing, so I could tell that next he's gonna move somewhere specific or do something specific. Like at some point I could kill some, I think, purples. I figured out that they kind of just wanted to pick a route and keep moving. And then later I tried that and they didn't, they just kept going back and forth, and then it started looking like they pick a certain distance or like target that they're gonna go and stick to that. But I don't know, like most of them didn't feel like super simple. Or well, some of them were, like some of them just stood in place, but like the ones that moved around, I didn't find a pattern where I could just reliably predict what they're gonna do.
VitorAL's 9 Mission 50, where you get the black tanks, the fast rocket tanks for the first time. It's a pity we didn't see that more. I was wondering about how the game would ratchet up the difficulty. It seemed like it didn't really increase the difficulty that much over the stages.
Well, if we didn't have the infinite lives cheat, then it definitely would have, because
oh yeah.
from 40s there were really frantic openings where you're starting from an open area with several enemies that kind of spray at you, and you need to figure out your way out from there. Like if you have infinite life, then you can just kill a couple of them and respawn, and then it's basically a lower tier stage from there on. But yeah, there weren't otherwise a lot of moving parts. Like it repeated stage layout. Some of them were more difficult than others, but they weren't like massively different from each other. And the enemies were only occasionally introduced new ones. So Yeah, there were, like, yeah, if I had to care about dying, then some of the 40-something stages would have been hard, but in this setting, like, there wasn't a big difference.
And we're joined by VitorAL now. GG.
Hello, GG's.
GG's.
So how did you enjoy the game?
I did, yes. It's a good game, but it's a little uncomfortable to play with the mouse. It was fun.
So what kind of strategies did you go for, Vitor? With the infinite lives, for example, did either of you like intentionally go for more deaths since the stage didn't reset, or like the enemies don't reset but the walls do and the tracks do?
Yeah, but you lose so much time with the jingle and the lives, the game over screen. I didn't think so. I thought dying was too much of a time loss every time. Most of the time, anyway.
Yeah, I don't think there was really a point to doing it intentionally. Like, I might play in a way that I didn't care much, especially in the beginning of the stage, where I was close to the respawn point and so on, but it's, yeah, it doesn't like exactly help you in any way, I can see.
Yeah.
One thing we were talking about where the reset might help is with the invisible enemies. You can kind of only tell them by their tracks, but if there's already a lot of tracks around you, you don't really see them at all.
Yeah, there was one late level where there was way too many tracks and he was like running in circles in the tracks. I couldn't tell, I just shot in the general area and hope for the best.
I didn't have that issue. Like, it's not as easy to see, but it's still like an otherwise static screen where new stuff appears, and I could basically tell where they were, at least if I was paying attention. The bigger issue was that the pseudo isometric view, there were a lot of times that I got killed by people just shooting near the bottom walls, and I just couldn't see shit. Like, that was the one big annoyance in this game.
Yeah, I had the same problem, especially I think level 49, 48, a tank just came out of the wall, killed me.
Yeah, I don't recall having issues with those specific ones, but like at random points throughout the game, yeah, definitely.
No, and if you have one type of tank that you think were the most troubling for you, because we noticed that like the red tanks were really hard to hit, but I don't know, did you find the red tank the hardest or any other?
No, the green tank that didn't move and had the rocket shot that bounced around everywhere, that was the hardest for me. I think level 17 was just 4 of these guys and we had a lot of trouble.
I think we saw both of you in a duel with a single, more aggressive tank. When they shoot a lot, then you can't really shoot them head on because they cancel out all your bullets. I think that happened several times.
Yeah, I don't think a single one stood out as particularly difficult. There was a few that were easy, like yellows didn't seem to do much, and one of the brown type just sat there, obviously. But I think purples were the ones that I had to chase around a bunch, and then there were a couple of others that could also be annoying. But, yeah, purple, I guess.
Alright, I'm looking at the bracket. That this was a losers 3, so Vitor sadly is exiting the tourney here. How did you enjoy the tournament this year?
It was cool. It's always fun. I'll come back next year, try to do a little better. It was good. I had some really hard opponents, managed to get one win at least. So it's alright. I feel good.
Always nice to hear that people are enjoying themselves. And Polari does not have an opponent yet.
Yeah, I actually didn't expect to get a notification for this match so early. Like after the last one, there were like 2 rounds before me or something, but Yeah, apparently my next opponent's gonna be the loser between the Whitley and Mantooth. I don't know if that's scheduled yet, but yeah, could be anytime.
No, I don't see it on the schedule. Okay, so thank you, both of you, for playing and joining. Let's have a look what's coming up. So we have a few matches today. We've got one in 90 minutes, and then another one right after that, and two more later in the day. So as usual for the weekend, bit of a busy race day. So definitely check on later for some more racing.
Yeah, and a deadline was just yesterday. It was mostly fine, but the next deadline is for both front 3 and for back 3. So let's try, and it's this Friday. So everyone, please try to get your match scheduled before the deadline.
Alright, and with that, thank you, Polari and VitorAL, for racing. Thank you, GM, for joining me in commentary. Thank you, all of you out there, for watching. That's gonna be it for now. Bye.
Right.